Hey, it's Aaron, and today I have a question that is an interesting one because I talk about car design a lot. In fact, when I do car reviews, I often go over the car's design, the exterior. So somebody who wants to be anonymous apparently asked me, what are all the panels on the car called? That's a pretty good question because most people don't know this. So actually, let me use one of my cars to illustrate. This is my newest. I just built this one a little while ago. This is the new Nissan Z, I think. No, Toyota Supra. Sorry, Toyota Supra. So anyway, let's talk about car panels. So this is the front fascia. So the entire front, which is the grille, the intakes, every bumper and all, those are assuming the bumper's covered by something. That's all the front fascia. Lighting is usually included in that, so the headlights up here are included, and so on. Then you have the front fender, right? So there's one on each side. You have the front fenders. Those are not usually called a panel. They're usually just called a fender. Just like the fascia is usually just called that. It's not called a panel. But technically, if you're looking at a car in segments, these are panels. So that's kind of why I'm going over this. And then you have a door panel or body panel. Can go by either name. So door panels usually refer just to the doors. So you might have a front door panel, rear door panel, whatever. But the body panels are everything on the body. So that's the doors, that's what's just below them, and sometimes what's above, depending on the design of the vehicle. So that's the door panels. Then you have the rocker panels down here. You usually only hear that referenced on like four-wheel drive and off-road models. You'll rarely hear it talked about on a regular car. Usually it will then be called a running board instead. But rocker panels down here. Most of the time, by the way, your lift points for the jack are going to be on the rocker panel somewhere underneath here. Usually back behind the wheel back here and ahead of this wheel right here. Check your owner's manual, but that's the general place to look, and it will often be called a rocker panel when that's being referenced. That's why I bring it up. Then you have the rear quarter panel. That's pretty much everything from the last door and back. So that's on the sides. It's what we would call the rear fender. So all of this stuff is the rear quarter, and it's not always a quarter of the car, and it rarely is in most vehicle design. It's usually a third of the car, actually, because you can think of a car as most cars are built as a three-piece box. That's kind of the design language that they use, and that means you have three boxes, one here, one here, one here. So anyway, then you will have a rear deck. So this one happens to be a hatchback style, but this is the rear deck is what we normally in the vernacular call a trunk. So in the US. In Britain it's the boot, and so on. It's the rear deck is the design term used for it, and it's pretty universal, so that allows somebody in the UK to talk to somebody in Japan and to talk to somebody in the US, and everybody's on the same page as to what they're referencing. Then you have the rear fascia, which, just like the front, is everything underneath that across here. It's mostly plastics, also includes the lighting and so on. That's all part of the fascia in the rear. Then you have a roof panel. The roof panel is the top of the car that covers up it covers the top of the car, but it also covers the top part of the passenger roll cage. So you'll have your design, the body framing is designed to protect whoever's in the car. And so you'll have your roof panel. That is pretty much everything. That is all of the design elements of a car, all the panels on a car, illustrated using Legos. All right, that's it. So hopefully that answers the question, gives you guys some insight as to what these basic parts of a car's bodywork are. These panels always refer to bodywork. They do not refer to what's underneath that, so they don't refer to any of the framing or anything else. It's just bodywork. So there you go. If you got a question, you can hit me up. Find me down on the comments down here. Find me on aarononautos.com. Email me, whatever. You can find me on all the socials like Facebook and Twitter and so on, but you do need to tag or DM me. Otherwise, I may or may not see what you're asking. So, yeah, hit me up. If you got a question, I got an answer, and I'm probably right. All right, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.